Hi, everybody. David Essel here with 5 ways that we block our own success. Now, some of these ways that we block our own success may be subconscious in nature. We've been doing these things for so long, we don't even notice that we're doing them, and yet they're holding us back. They're holding us down. They're anchors on our back. For the past 43 years, my Lord, I've been blessed to work with so many incredible individuals and go through so many trials myself and tribulations, as well as great success. And as I read through this list, I am part of this list. I will be the first one to admit that I have battled with each and every one of these things, and they're absolutely brutal. But until we know what's in front of us and how we're sabotaging our own success, there's nothing that can change. So let's take a look at the list and see how closely that you are maybe trapped in one of these blocks to your own success. And then the other thing we have to think about is that why am I resisting change? Let's think about this. Number one of the first blocks of success is constant grinding, constant grinding. If you're an executive, if you're an entrepreneur, a network marketer, you own your own small business and you're grinding, especially after the pandemic and all the other insanity we've gone through. Whew, I got tired just talking about that. And this is one of my greatest challenges, is that there's a part of me that loves to grind. There's a part of me that loves to constantly create. There's a part of me that wants to constantly put out new books. We have 13 out. I've got 2 to 3 more already ready to go. And it's a grind, right? It's not that I don't love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. But when we're grinding, we're lost in our own lack of self-care. You cannot grind and have high levels of self-care at the same time. Now, you might say, hey, I'm going to grind on Monday, Tuesdays, and then I'm going to take care of myself the rest of the week. That's okay, but very few people do that. If you're like me, once you get into that grind mode, you just go. 6 months, a year, 10 years go by. And then you look around and you say, where's my joy? I'm grinding. All I'm doing is grinding. So step number 1 is to evaluate, if you're grinding, how are you going to change it? Do you have a resistance to change? Are you thinking right now, oh, David, you don't understand my business. I have to grind. You don't understand me where I am financially. I have to grind. But see, that's resistance, because there's ways to be successful without the constant grind. And I want you to think about that. Number 2 is addiction. Whether it's an addiction to social media or television, this is blocking success. An addiction to food or pot or alcohol, nicotine, this is blocking success. An addiction to emotional spending, that's blocking success. So, these are ways we sabotage our success. Everything I'm going to talk about, these 5 keys, are ways that we sabotage our success. With addiction, there's no way out. If you're going to continue with the addiction, you'll never find that who you really are. Addictions mask who we really are. They can mask shame and guilt. They can mask so many different emotions. And until we get rid of the addiction, we don't even know what emotions are there that we have to deal with. I know this for fact. When I got rid of my addictions, I had no idea that I was going to be dealing with clinical depression and generalized anxiety disorder and several other mental conditions that I had that I used addictions to cover up. So once I got through one of the addictions, I then had to still have to learn how to deal with and cope with during traumatic times those parts of the mental health arena that can bounce back if we're not really watching it, right? So we've got these 2 things to begin with. Codependency is a huge thing, a block, a massive block. We want people to like us. We're afraid to rock the boat. We're afraid to have our own opinion. We might be with a group of people that are drinking and we're saying that we're going to cut back, but then we drink with them because of the fact that we're codependent. We can't handle the peer pressure. A friend goes and gets a new car and you go, oh my God, I got to get a new car. A new purse, I got to get a new purse. A new set of jeans, I got to get a new set of jeans. All of these are signs of codependency. Codependency is one of the greatest ways to block you from you. We don't know who we are when we're codependent. When I work with clients and help them shatter codependency, they come out the other side a totally changed person. But they're not really a totally changed person. They're just who they've always meant to be. Does that make sense? It's incredible. A lack of forgiveness, another block to success. Are we lacking a forgiveness for ourselves for errors we've made today, yesterday, or 30 years ago? We cannot be successful if we aren't willing to forgive ourselves. Or what about forgiving others? If we can't forgive others, I've mentioned this so many times. I've worked with people that have been brutally raped and left for dead, and they've forgiven the rapist. I've worked with people whose father molested them for 10 years, and they forgave the father. No, forgiveness doesn't mean accepting these people into our lives. We can forgive and release. or we can forgive and accept. That'll be up to you. But a lack of forgiveness is a massive block to healing and to finding out who we truly are, which is the whole point of this whole video. Why do we resist forgiving? Do we think we're letting that person off the hook? That person may not care. So we're hurting ourselves when we're not forgiving. See, all these things that I mentioned, I want you to ask yourself, why am I resisting? Why am I still grinding when there's another way? Why am I still addicted or dependent when there's another way? Why am I still codependent when there's another way? There is another way out, but a lot of times we resist change. Change is uncomfortable, so we resist it and we stay stuck on that rat wheel. We're not going to ever heal unless we face these resistances and get rid of them. The last one is going to be, are we afraid to ask for help? Are we not humble enough to ask for help? Are we not vulnerable enough to ask for help? You know, the major things that I've faced in life and have healed through, everything from my failed suicide attempt in 1990, I had to ask for help. Codependency was shattering my life in around 97. I had to ask for help. The same year, I had to ask for help with my addictions. You know, it's like I noticed that every major thing that I resist is because I'm not willing to be vulnerable. I'm not willing to be humble. I'm not willing to ask for help. But when I'm vulnerable and I'm humble and I ask for help, we can start to shatter our own resistance and get rid of these self-sabotaging blocks. If I can help you at all, I'll put the information below, but visit the website, talkdavid.com. Text me, 941-266-7676. You know, we are here to help people heal. One of the benefits of going through all the challenges I've gone through is that I can really, truly sit in the shoes of maybe you or a friend of yours that needs help and help them heal. Reach out. If it's not to me, reach out to another professional. Don't let another day go by. When we drop our resistance, healing occurs. Sending love, I'm David Essel.